Greatest player. It's always up for debate. Greatest player, and men, women together. One that can represent them both, so we can do individual, men, women, and then overall.
Nur Shabini.
I'm going to go Heather Mackay.
Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, no.
I'm going to go Heather Mackay.
All right, you're jumping in. I was addressing. That's it. You?
Sherbini for me. Yeah, I mean, you had the massive dominance of Nicole David, obviously, 9 years, world number one. But I mean,
will she beat the record?
I don't think she's going to.
Will she beat
the record? I think if she needed to win this one, she needed to win the World Championships this year. To beat the record. I've had this debate with you off air.
I think she will.
I think she will.
I think she will.
We all want her to.
I think she will, and I think we'll see an increase even more thanks to the way Gohar's playing, and obviously the women coming up that are improving so much. Like, for instance, Olivia Weaver's really come into it, and Naylor Gillis has done so well, and I think the level will go up even more. So it's even better.
I think based on the depth, if she does it, it will be the greatest.
Yeah,
will be the greatest ever.
You know,
I think. Yeah, she could. You know.
Which would be fitting in terms of level and everything else. It's hard to compare levels over generations, but we are seeing something pretty extraordinary in the women's game, and that is a fact.
I just think that 16 years British Open, unbeaten, as you know as a player, to literally that same week every year to even be physically in good enough order, and the way she went through the draws. Okay, the depth and the level wasn't as good, but I mean, even this week we've seen some footage of Heather, and even there she was playing some unbelievable holds and flicks that are just so far ahead of her time. Yeah. So we never, unfortunately, it was before we played, so we didn't get to see that. But she was doing things out there that only the modern players today are doing.
Beach?
One-off match, I think Ramy would be the one that I think just changed the way the game was played from top to bottom. Yeah. And I think it's a tough one. I think he'd have probably beaten anyone on his day.
He'd have taken out Jancher.
Yeah, I do. I think when he walked on and he was seeing it well.
Yeah. And moving well.
Just if his body was good and he was moving well, he was special.
Yeah, big time.
Big time special, I thought.
Jahangir for me, all day long. All day long. 4.5 years, didn't drop a game. 5.5 years, didn't lose a match.
But all these players that we're talking about now, if you put them in any era, they would have found a way to beat each other.
Yeah.
In a one-off match, you know, whether who would have had the best career if they were all in the same pot, don't know. But they would have all found a way to win. Jonathan, Peter, Ramy.
Who's the
Ali?
Sorry, I disagree. You take somebody just to bring a player that played in the eras of Jahangir and Jancher at the tail end of their careers, granted, but Peter Marshall had a year and a half out of the game with chronic fatigue, came back, beat Jonathan Power, who's number 3 in the world at the time, got to the semis or the final of the Worlds in Malaysia.
He ended up losing out to Halsey, yeah.
He lost to Halsey.
Through qualifying.
Just to give, the level that Marsh played. Marsh was number 2 in the world to Jancher at the time, and actually Jancher even said that Marsh was the only reason that Jancher continued to play because he felt a challenge from Marsh. That generation there, Jahangir, Jancher, Ditz,
Rod Martin,
Chris Robertson, Peter Marshall. Any era, those boys would have been at the very top of the game. But I just think Jahangir could have injected such a pace that would have just taken Ramy, and he would have kept going. He would have taken Ramy out of that rhythm that Ramy liked to play at. I just think it would have been
interesting match, wouldn't it?
It would have been too much.
It would have been a fascinating match. So, in terms,
particularly on this, I like would 9 normal scoring, high tin. That starts to really, the game is massively different. I wouldn't have put Ramy as in that sort of level under those conditions. 9 high tin. Yeah. On here, be interesting to see how JK would have managed the lower tin, the more dynamic movements.
Yeah, because you look at Nicole David.
11 scoring.
Yeah, when the tin changed there.
Some of JK's matches, particularly with Jancher, still love all after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They'd just be so close, and there's so much emphasis on the start of the match. It's like, now when every point counts, it's just changes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Greatest player you've ever played?
Ramy.
Same for me.
Ramy Ashour.
Yeah, it was freaky. It was weird playing him. It was just different. I mean, you were...
Yeah.
Lisa?
Raneem, probably. Raneem El-Walili, yep. I never played... I've not played Sherbini. I have played Nicole, but Raneem was different. Nicole actually gave you the sense that you were in it. You were in the match until you weren't.
Easy to play,
But
hard to beat.
Raneem was like deception, accuracy, speed, angles. Yeah, the overall package, really. I've not experienced anything like it. I've played Gohar, that's just power, and that's different in itself. But combining every element of the game, Raneem is the toughest opponent, the greatest player I've ever played.